Now, how did you get in with because you're a Brooklyn guy, you started on Fridays? Was that how you met Larry, I assume?
Yes, that's right.
Michael Richards?
Yes.
Wow, that must have been a big get when you landed that gig.
Friday. I was a bellhop.
What?
I was a bellhop before I was a TV writer. That was my last job. And I was also writing for a few comedians, and there was one of the comedians, this guy Darrow, was the black comedian on Fridays, and his wife was an editor of Chic magazine, which was kind of like a Larry Flint publication.
Ooh.
And I had written for Screw magazine. This is when I was a teenager.
Your credits got way better.
Yeah. I used to write humor, like porn humor for Screw, and I was really happy about it. I got published and I got paid and everything.
Nice.
I wrote porn novels, which was a big thing at that time.
Never heard of Screw.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, yeah. It was. I don't think it's out anymore, unfortunately. It was pretty interesting.
Nice.
But I wrote comedy stuff for that, and so I thought, well, I'll write some porn humor for Larry Flint stuff, and I called her up because I'd already been writing for Darrow, and Darrow was in the office when I called her up to pitch the porn humor, and he said, "Hey, I just got cast on this TV show. I told him about you. I don't know what happened to you. I haven't heard from you for a year. Why don't you get your material together? They'll read your material." So I didn't even have a typewriter. I mean, this is all handwritten stuff, and I hitchhiked to the interview, and they liked my material.
Hitchhiked.
Yeah, I hitchhiked and I gave them handwritten material.
Wow.
And
what was like your best bit? Do you remember any of that stuff?
No, I really don't remember actually right now. That's such a long time ago. And I said to them at the end of the interview, it's in the book actually, that look, I don't care if I don't get. I don't know what propelled me to say this to them, but I said I don't care if I get this job or not. You know, all I care about is don't hang me up. You know, tell me that I have it or I don't have it. I can handle the rejection.
I like that.
And I left. I hitchhiked back to my apartment on Cherokee and Hollywood Boulevard, and the phone was ringing, and it was Jack Burns who was the producer, and he said, "I have good news and bad news. The good news is I'm getting back to you." And my heart sunk. And then the bad news is you're hired. And that's how I got hired, you know?
That's great.
And so I went from being like literally a bellhop to being a TV writer.
Now, when you hitchhiked, did you look like the Larry we know? With the beard and the glasses?
I had just been a bellhop, so I was actually clean shaven. Yeah,
because I could see if people going, we're not picking up.
I had to go out and get a shirt though. I didn't have I had like all in my black and whites. That's all I had from being like a bellhop, you know.
Right.
I was also a parking valet. And those are the kind of jobs. That's what I was going to do for my life. I mean, I didn't see any way out, you know. And then this came along, and I got very lucky. But then I got a job finally on Arsenio. And that's where I wrote jokes for Arsenio for a year. And after about 6 months, he stopped using my jokes. He was getting so much hate mail about being just a black person on TV. Wow. This was before the internet. That and I used to write pretty
Luckily,
controversial.
it's all gotten much better.
Right, of course. Yeah, the internet's really made that okay.
Yeah.
But I used to write pretty controversial jokes for him, and he couldn't do them anymore. So I went 6 months without getting a joke on the air.
Damn.
And then I finally got fired. And then after that, I got a chance to work on In Living Color.
Ooh.
Went to meet Keaton Ivory Wayans, and he stood me up.
Ouch.
And it was an accident, as it turned out, but I lost my shit. I used to be very temperamental that way. And instead of going, could we reschedule? I went, fuck him. And I stormed out of the place. And when I got home, Larry David called me. And he's like, I'm doing this show and it'll get canceled and we'll make a little bit of money. And I was like, I needed a job. And I said yes. And that's how I got on Seinfeld.
That's also such a Larry David thing to do, to be like, fuck you. And then it somehow worked out, though.
Yeah. No, again, very lucky. Totally lucky. A lot of synchronicity.